Welcome everyone. Today we are diving deep into a crucial aspect of manifestation that often goes unexplored. While many teachers focus on the power of positive thinking, visualization techniques and affirmations, we are going to address what happens when these powerful tools don't seem to work as expected. Many practitioners find themselves in a frustrating cycle, doing all the right manifestation practices, yet still feeling blocked. They create beautiful vision boards, meditate daily, repeat powerful affirmations, yet their desires remain just out of reach. It's like pressing the gas pedal in a car while the emergency brake is still engaged. There's effort, there's intention, but there's limited movement or none. This disconnect points to something happening beneath the surface of conscious awareness. This is the realm of shadow work, the process of exploring, understanding, and integrating the unconscious aspects of ourselves that silently influence our ability to manifest our deepest desires. Today's exploration will take us through understanding these hidden blocks, identifying their origins, and most importantly, learning practical techniques to heal and to transform them. This isn't just about manifesting material desires, it's about creating authentic alignment in your entire being. When we do this work, manifestation becomes less about forcing outcomes and more about allowing our natural creative power to flow unimpeded. Shadow work, a term popularized by psychologist Carl Jung, refers to the process of uncovering and integrating unconscious aspects of ourselves. In manifestation terms, your shadow contains all the beliefs, fears, and patterns that contradict your conscious desires. Think of it this way. Your conscious mind might be saying, "I want financial abundance," while your subconscious mind is quietly whispering, "Money corrupts people," or "I don't deserve wealth." These contradictory beliefs create energetic friction that prevents manifestation from flowing smoothly. These shadow blocks aren't random. They are organized systems of belief and protection that were established for valid reasons at various points in your life. They are not enemies to be conquered, but aspects of yourself that need understanding, compassion, and integration. Understanding shadow blocks is not just psychological theory, it is energetic reality. Modern research in fields like psychoneuroimmunology and epigenetics increasingly show how our beliefs and emotions affect our biology, how we perceive opportunities, and how we interact with the world around us. What we hold in our unconscious minds shapes our experience just as powerful as we consciously believe. Where do these shadow blocks come from? Let us explore the three primary sources. During our formative years, particularly before age 7, our brains operate primarily in theta brainwave states, making us highly receptive to programming. We absorb not just explicit messages, but implicit ones too. Consider a child who witnesses their parents constantly arguing about money. They might never be explicitly told anything negative about wealth, but energetically, they form an association between money and conflict. This becomes a subconscious equation. Money means stress and arguments. Or perhaps a child is frequently told to be realistic. Whenever they share ambitious dreams. So over time, this creates a subconscious belief that big dreams are not practical or achievable. The message becomes internalized. Dreaming big means disappointment. These early experiences are not just memories. They become the foundation of our unconscious beliefs about what is possible, what is safe, and what we deserve. They quite literally shape the neural pathways in our developing brains, creating thought patterns that can persist for decades. Beyond personal experience, we also inherit belief systems from our family lineage. These aren't just behaviors we observe and mimic. Emerging research in epigenetics suggests that trauma and stress responses can be passed down through generations at a biological level. Consider families that have experienced historical economic hardship. The survival mentality of save everything, risk nothing may be passed down through generations, creating an unconscious resistance to financial abundance even when external circumstances no longer warrant such caution. Cultural conditioning plays a role here too. Many societies have deeply ingrained messages about money, success, visibility, and personal power. These collective agreements about what's appropriate or possible become part of our unconscious operating system. Perhaps the most complex source of shadow blocks are the protection mechanisms created by our own psyches in response to perceived threats or painful experiences. For example, if someone experienced rejection after sharing an achievement, their psyche might create a protection mechanism that associates success with vulnerability and potential pain. This creates an unconscious resistance to achievement, not because they don't want success, but because their system is trying to protect them from perceived danger. These mechanisms are not failures of the system. They are brilliant adaptations designed to keep us emotionally safe. The problem is that these protective responses often outlive their usefulness, continuing to limit us long after the original threat has passed. Now that we understand where shadow blocks originate, let us examine how they actually function in our day-to-day lives and manifestation practices. Shadow blocks operate through several interconnected systems. First, they influence our perception. When we hold a limiting belief like "I don't deserve success," we literally filter our experiences to confirm this belief. We might minimize positive feedback, overlook opportunities, or focus exclusively on challenges. This is not deliberate. It is how our brains conserve energy by creating coherent narratives of our experience. Second, shadow blocks create emotional patterns. A belief that change is dangerous does not just exist as a thought. It manifests as anxiety whenever opportunities for transformation appear. These emotional responses occur before conscious thought, creating immediate resistance that can feel inexplicable. Third, shadow blocks influence our behavior in subtle but powerful ways. A belief that I must struggle to be worthy might lead someone to unconsciously sabotage easy paths to their goals, creating unnecessary complications. Or a fear of visibility might cause someone to procrastinate on sharing their work, despite consciously wanting recognition. Finally, shadow blocks affect our energetic field. From a quantum and energetic perspective, these contradictory beliefs create interference patterns that disrupt clear manifestation. This explains why simply trying to think positive often falls short. The conscious positive thought is being broadcast alongside unconscious limiting beliefs, creating a confused energetic signal. How do you know what shadow blocks might be affecting your manifestation? Here are several reliable indicators. Persistent patterns. Look for challenges that repeatedly appear in your life. If you consistently attract similar relationship dynamics, face the same career obstacles, or hit financial ceilings, these patterns often point to underlying shadow blocks. Emotional triggers. Notice what situations cause disproportionate emotional reactions. If a minor critic sends you into a spiral of self-doubt, or a financial setback triggers intense fear, these reactions often signal deeper beliefs about worthiness or security. Procrastination and avoidance. What goals do you consistently delay working toward? Procrastination is rarely about laziness. It is usually about protection. Your system is trying to avoid something it perceives as threatening. The gap between knowledge and application. Notice where you know better, but do not apply that knowledge. This gap often indicates a shadow block contradicting your conscious understanding. Mixed results with manifestation. Pay attention to areas where manifestation works easily versus areas where it feels consistently blocked. The blocked areas often contain significant shadow material. When identifying shadow blocks, approach with curiosity rather than judgment. These patterns developed for valid reasons. They are not character flaws. They are adaptive responses that no longer serve your highest good. One of the most powerful approaches to shadow work involves connecting with the younger aspects of yourself that originally developed these protective beliefs. This practice involves creating a safe inner space through meditation or visualization where you can connect with your younger self. Rather than approaching with an agenda to fix anything, this practice is about listening with compassion and understanding. Begin by visualizing yourself at an age when a particular limited belief might have formed. Ask this younger self, what are you afraid might happen? What do you need to feel safe? What would you like me, your adult self, to understand? This dialogue is not about logical persuasion, but emotional resolution. Your inner child does not need to be convinced with facts. They need to be heard, understood, and reassured. As you practice this regularly, you create new neural pathways. The wounded aspects of your psyche begin to understand that the threats they were protecting you from are no longer present. allowing the protective mechanisms to gradually relax. Every limiting belief can be transformed through conscious reprogramming. This is not about positive thinking. It is about creating new, more empowering neural pathways through consistent practice. Start by identifying a specific limiting belief, such as "I don't deserve abundance." Then explore, what evidence have I collected to support this belief? Where and when did I first adopt this belief? How has this belief been trying to protect me? What evidence exists that contradicts this belief? What more empowering belief could serve me now? Once you have identified a new, more expansive belief, you need to install it at both conscious and unconscious levels. And this happens through daily affirmations that feel genuine rather than forced, visualization practices that engage all the senses, creating evidence by taking small actions aligned with the new belief, environmental cues that reinforce the new belief, somatic practices that anchor the new belief in your body. Remember that belief reprogramming is not an overnight process. Neural pathways are strengthened through repetition. Commitment to consistent practice is essential for creating lasting change. The body holds our shadow material as much as the mind does. Somatic release work recognizes that emotional blocks are not just mental constructs. They are physically stored in our bodies as tension patterns, postural habits, and even cellular memory. This approach works directly with the body's wisdom to release blocks that may be inaccessible through purely cognitive methods. It's particularly effective for deeply ingrained patterns or trauma-based blocks. So start by focusing on a specific manifestation block, and then scan your body slowly, noticing where you feel tension, heaviness, numbness, or other physical sensations when you think about this block. Second, place your awareness on the most prominent sensation without trying to change it. Third, breathe deeply into that area, imagining your breath flowing directly to that sensation. Fourth, ask the sensation, what information are you holding for me? Fifth, allow movement to emerge naturally. This might be gentle rocking, stretching, shaking, or other spontaneous motion. Sixth, continue until you feel a release, which might manifest as heat, tingling, emotional release, or a sense of expanded space. For deeper patterns, practices like TRE, tension and trauma releasing exercises, authentic movement, or bioenergetic exercises can create profound releases that cognitive work alone cannot access. What makes somatic work so powerful is that it addresses the biological aspect of our blocks. The body's stress response system, including the amygdala, nervous system, and hormonal cascades, plays a crucial role in maintaining limitation patterns. By working directly with the body, we can reset these systems and create space for new patterns to emerge. Writing is a powerful tool for bringing unconscious material into conscious awareness where it can be transformed. Effective shadow integration journaling goes beyond standard diary entries. It uses specific prompts designed to access deeper layers of awareness. What patterns keep repeating in my life that I do not consciously choose? If my block could speak, what would it say? It is trying to protect me from? What am I most afraid would happen if I achieved my desire? What parts of myself am I hiding or suppressing? What would I do differently if I knew I was completely safe and supported? The key to effective shadow journaling is writing without censorship. Let whatever emerges flow onto the page without judgment. Often the most valuable insights come after the initial, more surface level thoughts have been expressed. Review your journal entries with compassion, looking for patterns and insights that can inform your healing journey. As we begin integrating this work into our manifestation practice, several key principles emerge. First, understand that shadow work is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. As you clear one layer, deeper layers may reveal themselves. This is not a sign of failure, but of progress. You are assessing increasingly subtle aspects of your unconscious mind. Second, balance is essential. Shadow work can be emotionally demanding. Alternate between periods of deep inner work and periods of rest and integration. Honor your system's need for processing time. Third, community support matters. While much of this work is deeply personal, having supportive witnesses for your journey can provide invaluable perspective and encouragement. Consider working with trained facilitators, joining shadow work cycles, or sharing with trusted friends who understand this path. And finally, recognize that shadow integration is not about creating a perfect block-free self. It is about developing a compassionate relationship with all aspects of yourself. Some blocks may transform completely, while others may simply become conscious companions on your journey, no longer running the shadow from behind the scenes. As we conclude our exploration today, remember that the shadow is not your enemy. It is a repository of your unlived potential. Every block, once transformed, becomes a source of wisdom and power. This work requires courage, compassion, and commitment. But the rewards extend far beyond improved manifestation abilities. As you integrate your shadow aspects, you will likely experience greater authenticity, deeper relationships, more consistent energy, and a profound sense of coming home to yourself. The most powerful manifestation does not come from perfect vision boards or flawless affirmations. It emerges naturally when your conscious desires and unconscious beliefs move into alignment. When all parts of you are moving into the same direction, manifestation becomes less of a technique and more of an organic unfolding. So take a deep breath now. Feel the possibility that exists within you. Your shadow blocks are not a prison, they are doorways to greater wholeness, authenticity, and manifestation power. So thank you for diving deep into this transformative work with me, and the journey continues.